everyone, and welcome to Spill the Pea. This week, we're going to be diving into Parsha Tetzaveh. As usual, we're going to start with the story itself, and we will later get to the breakdown and the deeper meaning. Please, if you enjoy these, share, like, and comment. Let's get started. So, we start with Torah saying, "You shall command the children of Israel that they shall take for you pure pressed olive oil for illumination to kindle the lamp continually. In the tent of meeting, outside the partition that is near the testimonial tablets, Aaron and his sons shall arrange it from evening till morning before Hashem, an eternal decree for their generations. Now you bring near to yourself Aaron, your brother, and his sons with him from among the children of Israel to minister to me. You shall make vestments of sanctity for Aaron your brother, for glory and splendor. You shall speak to all the wise hearted people whom I have invested with the spirit of wisdom, and they shall make the vestments of Aaron to sanctify him to minister to me. These are the vestments that they shall make: a breastplate, an ephod, a robe, a tunic of a box like knit, a turban, and a sash. They shall take the gold, the turquoise, purple, and scarlet wool, and the linen. They shall make the ephod of gold, turquoise, purple, and scarlet wool, and twisted linen, a weaver's craft. It shall have two straps attached to its two ends, and it shall be attached. The belt with which it is emplaned, which is on it, shall be of the same workmanship. It shall be made of gold, turquoise, purple, and scarlet wool, and twisted linen. You shall tell you shall take two of the shoham stones and engrave upon them the names of the sons of Israel, six of their names on one stone, and the names of the six remaining ones on the second stone, according to the order of their birth. A jeweler's craft, like the engraving of a signet ring, shall you engrave the two stones with the names of the sons of Israel. Encircled with gold settings shall you make them. You shall place both stones in the shoulder straps of the ephod, remembrance stones for the children of Israel. Aaron shall carry their names before Hashem on both his shoulders as a remembrance. You shall make settings of gold and two chains of pure gold. Make them at the edges of the braided craftsmanship and place the braided chains on the settings. You shall make a breastplate of judgment of a woven design. Like the craftsmanship of the ephod shall you make it square. Shall you make it? Square shall it be. You shall fill it with stone mounting 4 rows of one stone, a row of autumn, pitta, and berekis, the one row. The second row, nofek, sapir, and yahalom. The third row, leshem, shevo, and achlama. And the fourth row, tarshish, shoham, and yashpeh. Set in gold shall they be. The stones shall be according to the names of the sons of Israel, 12 according to their names, engraved like a signet ring. For the breastplate, you shall make chains at the edges of braided craftsmanship of pure gold. For the breastplate, you shall make 2 rings of gold, and you shall place the 2 rings on the 2 ends of the breastplate. You shall place the 2 golden ropes on 2 rings, and on the 2 ends you shall place the shoulder straps of the ephod towards its front. You shall make 2 rings of gold and place them at the bottom of the 2 shoulder straps of the ephod towards the front. They shall attach the breastplate so it will remain above the belt if the ephod of the ephod, and it will not become loosened. Aaron shall bear the names of the sons of Israel on the breastplate of judgment on his heart when he enters the sanctuary as a constant remembrance before Hashem. Into the breastplate shall you place the Orim and the Tumim, and they shall be on Aaron's heart when he comes before Hashem, and Aaron shall bear the judgment of the children of Israel in his heart constantly before Hashem. You shall make the robe of the ephod entirely of turquoise wool. Its head opening shall be folded over, and it shall have a border of weaver's work. It shall be like the opening of a coat of mail, it may not be torn. You shall make on its hem pomegranates of turquoise, purple, and scarlet wool, and add gold bells between them all around. It must be on Aaron to minister. Its sounds shall be heard when he enters the sanctuary before Hashem and when he leaves, so that he not die. You shall make a head plate of pure gold and engrave upon it, holy to Hashem. You shall place it on a cord of turquoise wool, and it shall be on the turban. It shall be on Aaron's forehead, so that Aaron shall bring forgiveness for a sin regarding the sacred offerings that the children of Israel consecrate. And it shall be on his forehead always to bring them favor before Hashem. You shall make a linen tunic of a box like knit. You shall make a linen turban, and you shall make a sash of embroider's work. For the sons of Aaron, you shall make tunics and make them sashes, and you shall make for them headdresses for glory and splendor. With them you shall dress Aaron, your brother, and his sons with him. You shall anoint them, inaugurate them, and sanctify them, and they shall minister to me. You shall make them linen breeches to cover the flesh of nakedness from the hips to the thighs shall they be. They shall be on Aaron and his sons when they enter the tent of meeting or when they approach the altar to serve in holiness. And they should not bear as a sin and die. It is an eternal decree for him and his offspring after him. This is the matter that you shall do for them to sanctify them to minister for me. Take one young bull and 2 rams, unblemished, with unleavened breads, unleavened loaves mixed with oil, and unleavened wafers smeared with oil. You shall place them in a single basket and bring them near in the basket with the bull and the 2 rams. Aaron and his sons you shall bring near to the entrance of the tent of meeting, and you shall immerse them in water. You shall take the vestments and dress Aaron with the tunic, the robe of the ephod, and the breastplate, and you shall girdle him with the belt. You shall place the turban on his head, and place the crown of sanctity over the turban. You shall take the anointment oil and pour it on his head. You shall cause his sons to come near and dress them in tunics, girdle them with a sash. Aaron and his sons, you shall wrap the headdresses on them. The priesthood shall be an eternal duty for them, and you shall inaugurate Aaron and his sons. You shall bring the bull near the tent of meeting. Aaron and his sons that will lean their hands on the head of the bull. You shall slaughter the bull before Hashem. You shall take some of the blood of the bull and place it with your fingers on the horns of the altar, and you shall pour all the blood on the base of the altar. You shall take all the fat that covers the innards, the diaphragm with the liver, the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is on them, and you shall cause them to go up in smoke upon the altar. The flesh, hide, and waist shall burn in the fire outside of the camp. You shall take the first ram. Aaron and his sons will lean their hands on the head of the ram. You shall slaughter the ram and take its blood and throw it in the altar all around. You shall cut the ram into its pieces, wash its innards and feet, and place them with its pieces and its head. You shall cause the entire ram to go up in smoke upon the altar. It's an elevation offering for Hashem. You shall take the second ram. Aaron and his sons shall lean their hands on the head of the ram. You shall slaughter the ram. You shall take some of its blood and place it on the middle part of the ear of Aaron and his sons, the right ear. and on the thumb of their right hand and the big toe of their right foot, and you shall throw the blood all around the altar. You shall take some of the blood on the altar and some of the anointment oil and sprinkle it on Aaron and on his vestments, as well as his sons, and they shall become holy. From the ram you shall take the fat, the tail, the fat that covers the innards, the diaphragm with the liver, the two kidneys, and the fat that is on them, and the right thigh. It is a ram of perfection. One cake of bread, one oily loaf, and one wafer from the basket of the unleavened loaves that is before Hashem. You shall place it on the palms of Aaron and his sons, and you shall wave them as a waving before Hashem. You shall take the unleavened loaves from their hands and cause them to go up in smoke on the altar. You shall take the breast of the inauguration ram that is Aaron's, and it shall be your portion. You shall sanctify the breast and the thigh from the inauguration, and they will be for Aaron and his sons as an eternal portion from the children of Israel. The holy vestments of Aaron shall belong to his sons after him to become elevated through them and inaugurated through them. For a 7-day period, the Cohen who succeeds him from his sons shall enter the tent of meeting to serve in the sanctuary and to don them. You shall take the inauguration ram and cook its flesh in a holy place. Aaron and his sons shall eat the flesh of the ram and the bread that is in the basket before entering the tent of meeting. They who receive atonement through them shall eat them to inaugurate them, to sanctify them. An alien shall not eat, for they are not holy. If anything shall be left over until the morning, it shall burn in the fire. It may not be eaten, for it is holy. You shall do this for Aaron and his sons, as I have commanded you. A 7-day period shall you inaugurate them. A bull sin offering shall you make for each day for the atonements. You shall purify the altar by bringing the atonement for it, and you shall anoint it to sanctify it for a 7-day period. The altar shall be the holy of holies. Whatever touches the altar shall become sanctified. This is what you shall offer upon the altar: 2 sheep within their first year every day, 1 sheep in the morning, and the other sheep shall you offer in the afternoon. A tenth of fine flour mixed with oil, and a libation of wine for each sheep. This is a continual elevation offering for your generations at the entrance of the tent of meeting. I shall set my meeting there with the children of Israel, and it shall be sanctified with my glory. I shall sanctify the tent of meeting and the altar, and Aaron and his sons shall I sanctify to minister to me. I shall rest my presence among the children of Israel, and I shall be their God. They shall know that I am Hashem their God, who took them out of the land of Egypt to rest my presence among them. You shall make an altar on which you bring incense up in smoke of acacia wood, shall you make it. It shall be square and have horns. You shall cover it with pure gold. You shall place it before the partition that is by the ark of the testimonial tablets, in front of the cover that is on the testimonial tablets, where I shall set my meetings with you. Upon it shall Aaron bring the spice incense up in smoke every morning, when he cleans the lamp. And when Aaron kindles the lamps in the afternoon, he shall bring it up in smoke, a continual incense before Hashem. You shall not bring upon it alien incense or an elevation offering or meal offering, nor may you pour libation upon it. Aaron shall bring atonement upon its horns once a year from the blood of the sin offering of the atonements. Once a year shall he bring atonement upon it for your generations. Okay, so now we're going to go back to the beginning. And we open understanding that Bnei Israel, the children of Israel, will take olive oil so that Aaron and his sons will continually light the lamp for generations. So, first, let's understand why olive oil. Why not sesame oil or castor oil or any other oil? To start, olive trees are deeply rooted, strong trees that can survive thousands of years, and the fruit, the olives themselves, are enduring. What's the meaning here? Being grounded, having a solid foundation, is a key ingredient not only in surviving, but in thriving. And it also lends to proliferation, expansion. Now, olives themselves are quite bitter. I'm not personally a fan. Some people might say, well, bitterness is something that's bad. But what do people also consider to be bad, especially in this day and age? Structure, discipline, restraint, practice, self control, boundaries. Dedication to something or having passion has somehow been associated with a kind of manic infatuation. Some people may even go as far to call it obsession, which also has negative associations. Nowadays, discipline, structure, and boundaries are frowned upon. You eat healthy? Ew, isn't that hard? You're gonna die from something anyways, so you might as well just enjoy life. You don't go out every weekend and party? What's wrong with you? Don't you know how to have fun? Your kids do something they shouldn't and you take away their PlayStation? Well, that's mean. Kids are gonna be kids. Someone disrespects you and you set a clean, healthy boundary. Why do you take everything so personally? Loosen up. Olives are also put under pressure in order to receive the oil which is used for eternal light. So the fruits of life may seem bitter on the surface. However, discipline, structure, restraint, self control, and boundaries are all behaviors that allow you to develop or evolve into someone who is capable of being an eternal light here on this earth. And behaviors are modeled by children, which would be carrying the light from generation after generation. So we fast forward and we have the garment that Aaron wears that have the 12 names of the sons of Israel, six on each side. We discussed minimally that the 12 sons each represent specific attributes, traits, and essences that exist within everyone individually. Some of these traits are introspection, zeal, devotion, courage, discernment, endurance, strength, joy, just to mention a few. The names are placed six and six, therefore reinforcing balance. They are also placed on the shoulders, and shoulders are symbolic of responsibility. In life, we either choose responsibility or we make excuses. We choose to embody self awareness, courage, insight, and passion. Many times, choosing these qualities can be a challenge. Choosing elevated behaviors is actually quite simple. However, it can be a challenge. It's much easier to float by in life, blame everyone for everything, have everything handed to you, and complain when everything goes bad. A lot of times in life, things can boil down to what's simple and what is easy. However, most times, something that is simple is not necessarily easy. And the things that are not simple are quite easy. Example: you're in the grocery store or at Starbucks, and the person checking you out is giving you nasty eyes or making faces at you and being absolutely rude. It's very simple to have awareness that whatever they're going through is for them and their emotions are not yours to deal with. At the same time, it's not easy to take all of that awareness and act with strength and even joy. Same situation. For other people, it's not simple at all to have the awareness of self or others, and therefore it's very easy to give them the same behavior that they're giving you. Choosing noble behaviors is one of the most simple things any of us can do because, frankly, we're wired for it. We were made in the image of the Creator. But when you face a challenge and you have to exhibit discipline, structure, boundaries, those behaviors can become very difficult. But when we achieve balance of noble behaviors by taking responsibility, we become elevated like Aaron. And we now are becoming the vessel that is capable of carrying the light of the Creator. So we fast forward a bit and it talks about the breastplate bearing Orim and Tumim, and that they will both be on Aaron's heart when he comes before the Creator. Orim translates to lights, and Tumim translates to wholeness, sincerity, truth. So we have light and we have truth. Interesting that they're communicated as two different things. Many people may also consider truths to be shadows. So we have light and we have shadows, and both are necessary in order for Aaron to come to the Creator. It's ironic that people nowadays try their hardest to hide their shadows or avoid them or pretend that they don't have any. How do people do this? Lying, pretending to be someone that they aren't, avoiding the reality of who they are, pretending that they're perfect. When is it that we got this notion that we only need to be good or nice or light in order to be aligned? Light means nothing without shadows, and shadows mean nothing without light. Both are necessary for growth, both are necessary for balance, both are necessary to truly love yourself, and both are necessary to connect to the Creator. We move forward a bit and we have the sacrificing of the animals during the evening and night. And some people might think the whole blood of the animals thing, blood of the animals being rubbed all over people, is strange. And it would seem that way. However, it's got a deeper meaning. First of all, when we bring things to the altar, these are things that we are giving to the Creator. So a bull represents physical power and consistency. A ram represents decisive action and leadership. The blood specifically represents life force. It represents the energy that moves you, animates you, and drives you. So we have the energetic force of consistency, power, decisive action, and leadership all being sacrificed for the Creator. So let's pause for a second. I'm not a huge fan of the word sacrifice in this context, and probably in many contexts. Stay with me. So, I have a tattoo that says obedience is greater than sacrifice. Now, some people might say, well, when you're obedient, that means that you're controlled and that you don't have free will. And I would say, arguably, the opposite is true. Okay. So let's say you want to lose 10 pounds. And in order to do so, you need to adjust your diet and your physical activity. So, is consuming less sugar obeying the process or sacrificing your craving? Is eating less carbs obeying the process or sacrificing your craving? Is going to the gym more obeying the process or sacrificing your laziness? When you have a specific goal in mind or a direction that you are moving in, it's not so much a sacrifice as it is obeying the process. Obeying is still an active choice. You can either choose to obey or not. Most sacrifices are done with resistance. Choosing to be decisive and courageous and consistent are completely your choice. This is obeying the process of what it means to be the light that exists within you. It's obeying the process of what it means to accept the shadows that have been brought to your awareness because of your light. It's obeying the process of what it means to be aligned. Okay, so then we have the sheep being sacrificed during the day. Sheep represent gentleness, humility, vulnerability, trust, dependence. So, why the bulls and the rams during the night and the sheep during the day? Because in times of darkness, it's easy to throw in the towel and give up because things seem hopeless. Because in the night, when things seem dark, you need leadership, which will allow you to take decisive action, which then gives you a direction to commit your power and consistency. During the day, in the light, where things seem fine and dandy, we need to be we need to be vulnerable in order to have the humility to remember that we are dependent on the creator. We made it to the light because we chose to trust the creator. A lot of times I have absolutely no direction what these things will go in, but there's always a feeling of comfort at the end. I think this time in particular because there's been so much darkness in different ways everywhere all at once. And with darkness, there can sometimes also be silence. And silence can seem terrifying. And to be terrified is okay. It's one of the most beautiful things to be scared. Because the thing about life is that it's a process, it's a cycle. And the thing that makes you feel the most alone, the most scared, the most hopeless is often the thing that will be transmuted into the brightest joy of your life. But we have to remember obedience is greater than sacrifice. Nothing is a sacrifice in life because everything is a process. And all processes have structure. And to maintain structure, you must have discipline. And discipline takes obedience to you. Become aligned so that you can trust yourself. And then you can listen to yourself. And then you can obey yourself. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.